Hey everyone, happy Friday. Off the Rail Sports with your friend Bert. We are looking forward to such a great weekend. Still not looking forward to this day after day hole in the polar vortex that we're experiencing. Don't like that at all. In fact, I'm looking back at this picture. I just turned the calendar a few days late, but I'm in the December on my Santa Anita calendar here. The sunset at Santa Anita with the palm trees. That I like. That I like. Holes in the polar vortex, 14 degrees the morning of December 5th, snow on the ground and not melted. I don't like that. I got friends out west. I know all friends in Colorado, all that stuff. You love it. Off the Rail Sports doesn't love it. In fact, I like that. I want to go down the Tampa Bay Downs pretty soon. I don't think I'm going to, but I want to because with winter starting so soon, it's going to get old real quick. Nonetheless, hole in the polar vortex aside, what we don't have a hole in is the sports calendar locally here in Indianapolis. National attention center of the college football universe on Indy Big Ten championship. How many clunkers of Big Ten championship games have we had in recent years? And no offense, but I mean, they're just Ohio State, Northwestern, and Iowa, Purdue. Man, there's been some clunkers, but Indiana, number two Indiana, number one Ohio State. I think it's going to be a great game. I think the line's somewhere around 5.5, maybe down to 4, getting bet down. Money coming in on the Hoosiers. People may look at it as a little home field advantage. I think it's probably going to be 50-50. But nonetheless, great game. This is awesome. And the best thing is, honestly, I mean, you want to win this game. There's no doubt both teams want to win this game. Ryan Day doesn't have a Big Ten championship yet. So don't think Ohio State just says, that's Ohio State. They don't care about the Big Ten championship. I bet Ryan Day does. And I can flat out guarantee Indiana does. So it's going to be an awesome game. But stress-free a little bit in the sense that the loser of this game is not going to fall out of the top 4, which is what you want in the college football playoffs because you get a bye. So, that is, honestly, it's kind of a win-win. And at 2:15 tomorrow down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, so a few blocks away, you've got the Indiana Hoosiers and Louisville Cardinals playing in hoops. So you've got IU Louisville and then IU Ohio State, a sports doubleheader. Against two teams, by the way, that are local and going to travel very well. Downtown is going to be absolutely slammed. I don't know what, you probably need at least an 11 o'clock reservation to have a chance to get in someplace. But guarantee you Kilroy's is already booked and everywhere else around that area. But it's exciting for the city. They continue to just best themselves on what they do with events. We've hosted the Big Ten Championship for quite a while, and so this is just one of the events that's on the rotation as far as the sports calendar that the folks in Indy and Indiana Sports Corp do put on. But this is next level stuff. Can't plan for it to be Ohio State and Indiana, but it worked out really well, and that's just going to be a showcase for the city once again. But getting used to saying Indiana ranked number 2 is hard. It really is, but it's awesome. They are the 2 best teams in the country from what we can see. I think Texas Tech is right there, and there's some others that are a notch below or right there in the conversation. But those are kind of the 3 teams I'm looking at right now: Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas Tech. But there's a lot of meaningful games. This one is a big game from a matchup standpoint, but there are more meaningful games that will affect who makes the playoffs and who's seated where, and et cetera, et cetera. And that starts tonight. James Madison plays for the Sun Belt Championship on ESPN at 7 o'clock. That's a meaningful game. They have a chance to be one, if not one of 2, non-power conference teams to make the playoffs. James Madison's in play, currently ranked 25th in the country. And you also have North Texas, ranked 24th against Tulane, ranked 20th. So if Tulane wins as the highest non-power conference team, they will get in. If Duke wins, an unranked Duke wins the ACC championship tomorrow, you could be looking at James Madison. If they win tonight, you could be looking at James Madison and Tulane if they win, both in the college football playoffs because they have to take the top 5 conference champions. Even though the Miami Hurricanes are ranked 11th and the best team in the ACC because of super conferences and unbalanced schedules and criteria that is very makes your eyes go cross. Duke's playing for the conference championship, and if they win it, they will not be one of the top 5 conference champions across the country. And the committee has to take the top 5. Crazy to think, isn't it? Miami could get left out, and the ACC champ could get left out. Yet you have Miami, who's a top 12 team, I would say. Now Virginia's pretty good. They're ranked 17th, so I hope they win because they've had a really good year, and like to see Virginia in there. But you got other games: Texas Tech, BYU tomorrow. I think Tech wins that. That's a rematch. Tech took care of business a couple weeks ago, but BYU wins. See, this is one of those games. If BYU wins, um, let me just say Notre Dame is really nervous right now. Miami's even more nervous, but Notre Dame and Miami are both nervous. And if BYU wins, all bets are off because they get in and Texas Tech is still going to make it. So BYU could still bid, if you will. Nobody's stealing anything from the MAC except our entertainment value. No, I love Maction. Kidding. We love Maction. I don't like Ball State's Maction this year, but we like Maction. You got Alabama, Georgia, SEC title game. Alabama's 10-2. If they lose, does a 3-loss team get in? 3-loss Ole Miss last year should have got in. 3-loss Ole Miss was a better team than 1-loss Indiana. Ole Miss may have been the second best team in the country last year with Jackson Dart. They played 6 ranked teams. They beat 3 of them, lost to 3 of them. But I don't know if they take a 3-loss Alabama. I think they do. And again, you kind of have to. Because if Alabama gets knocked out because they have to play a 13th team or a 13th game, then why even play these games? You'd be better off being Miami or Notre Dame sitting at home not playing a conference championship game, wouldn't you? I mean, Miami would like to be playing one right now, but you get my point. How do you penalize a team for having to play this game? Because right now Alabama's in. So how can you knock them out if they lose? But nonetheless, we'll be watching that game. So the ACC Championship at 8, Virginia Duke, Indiana, Ohio State is at 8 on Fox. I'm going backwards here. Then you got the Alabama Georgia game at 4 on ABC, and the other 2 games, the Big 12 Championship, the MAC Championship, on at noon. But we're looking awesome. We're looking so forward to this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Again, the center of the sports universe on Indianapolis. And you know what? We kick it right through the uprights, right down Meridian, baby, as Bobby Slick Leonard used to say on Pacers broadcast, right down Meridian. Colts, Sunday. Oddly seems so far away with just all the excitement tomorrow, but season on the brink. I don't like the Colts going to Jacksonville. They don't win in Jacksonville. I don't like the way the Colts are playing. They're losing games that they could easily win. Last week, the Kansas City game. So those are games that you got to put away. And I know officiating played a big role and all that kind of stuff, but their offense is not clicking the way it was for a multitude of reasons. Daniel Jones being hurt, offensive line being suspect, getting a little thin at receiver, can't get the running game going. I think part of that is you just can't. They're not sustaining drives. I mean, they're getting torched on the stat sheet as far as number of plays, time of possession. But man, you lose this game, that's 4 out of 5. And I mean, the division not only starts to look tough, you're fighting for a wild card. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I probably won't bet it but I worry about the Colts winning this game because I just don't think they've looked the same. And I'm not a big Jacksonville fan. Don't get me wrong. I don't look at Jacksonville as any juggernaut by any means. And I don't think anyone would. But man, this is yeah, I'll say it. I think it's a must-win game. So all the moves you made, you went all in on Sauce Gardner, traded first-round draft picks, traded A.D. Mitchell, um, who was still young and developing. Um, so not necessarily a meaningful part of this season. Well, he was when he dropped the ball, cost him a game against the Rams. But I digress. Nonetheless, you go to 8-5, having gone all in, pushed the chips in on the Sauce Gardner trade, and it's looking rough. And then you got to go to Seattle after this, Houston later. Anyway, big game for the Colts. But listen, let's stay positive. Let's say they can go down there and buck the trend over the last decade plus or whatever and get a win in Jacksonville. I hope they can, because if they can, then we're right back on track. We're right back on schedule, as coaches like to say. Right now, the Colts they're off schedule a little bit. I don't know that they're behind schedule yet, but they're off schedule. They lose this one, they're behind schedule, especially with the way the season started. But all positivity focuses on tomorrow, Big Ten Championship, Indiana Hoosiers, all these conference championships in football. There's still a lot of college basketball going on. The IU Louisville game aside, but uh, we're kind of focused mainly on the college football playoffs and the championship conference championship weekend. So hey, listen, get a leg up. It's time to clock out. If you are still working today, start enjoying the weekend. Get a leg up. Enjoy what you're doing. Have a great day. Off the Rails Sports. We will talk soon. Have a great weekend, everybody.